Hi, I'm Wyatt Cash with Scoop News Group, and we're here at FedTalks with Brett McMillen, Director for U.S. Federal at AWS. Brett, thank you so much for joining us.
Happy to be here.
Let me start off by asking, technology continues to play a critical role in 2020. How have you seen government customers continue with their mission despite the challenges created by this unprecedented pandemic?
Yeah, this has been tough. This 2020 has been tough for all organizations. COVID has really stressed a lot of government, federal organizations, particularly those around areas of health, economy, and education, because they've not only had to keep the lights on, but they've been delivering emergency relief services very quickly. A lot of these agencies, they're also dealing with reduced resources, with staff increasingly working remotely, some of which have been getting sick. And we all have been working with the balance of work and family, and it's been hard. In general, what we found is that these government agencies are just across the board being asked to do more with less. And this is where the scale and automation of technology enables help for these agencies. We've helped agencies scale up and scale down quickly through this pandemic. And one of the things that struck me is there really was no way to accurately predict which agency systems would need to scale quickly. So one of the lessons learned is that virtually every government agency or every government system should be designed for scalability. When it became apparent that US firms would need financial help during this pandemic, Congress, through the CARES Act, approved $349 billion in emergency small business funding for loans under the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, and it fell onto the Small Business Administration to administer these loans. Now, this was many times the size of what they had ever done previously. And so SBA quickly turned to AWS and our third-party reseller, 4 Points Technologies, to develop a key component of that program that enabled it to rapidly scale up for successful operations. Another example is we've been working for years with the US Census Bureau on the 2020 census, and we've been helping them bring all those capabilities online, increase securities, and really protect the citizens' data. While this initiative began prior to COVID, and it just couldn't have started at a better time because census employees were kind of limited due to quarantine restrictions and they couldn't have the same in-person interactions. But through technology, they were able to perform a very accurate and thorough count of this country. As you can imagine, we're also working with numerous organizations to enable remote work and learning capability. Nobody really knows what the future will hold, but I imagine many teams will want to continue the flexibility that work from home provides. And organizations are going to have to continue to improve and support remote work capabilities. Another example of what we're seeing is increased digital transformation at really throughout the federal government. So for example, over at the Department of Housing and Urban Development in April, HUD deployed a cloud-based platform called FHA Catalyst. And this is a system that allowed mortgage lenders to electronically deliver case binders and claims, a process that really used to be paper-based, slow, manual, and it had human error in it because it was all paper-based. The new cloud system enabled HUD to be much more efficient during the pandemic. While this system is bringing numerous benefits to HUD, it also is increasing agility and data integrity so that they can continue to iterate into the future. You know, it's commonly said that necessity is the mother of invention. And at this time of need, we've seen accelerated IT modernizations throughout the federal government that will have long-term benefits for the US constituents.
Well, how can government effectively leapfrog ahead in using technologies like cloud, AI, and automation, and not just build on them?
Yeah, and that's a challenge, and we're seeing that challenge being tackled throughout the federal government. One element of it is workforce training and empowerment is so important. But also it's important to just talk to your colleagues. We found that many agencies have varying level of technology depth, and they can frequently learn from each other. While it's important to also have the right skill sets and understanding of technology best practices, a critical area that organizations need to invest in is data. And this includes optimal ways to ingest it, manage it, and process it. Today, government agencies have near instant access to best-in-class cloud technologies and machine learning capabilities, but without proper data hygiene, results are often very limited. To address that, we're seeing many agencies such as Centers for Medicaid, Medicare Services, Census, and the Smithsonian building data lakes on AWS so that the data can easily be usable and accessible to take advantage of these new technologies. Leveraging AI and ML through the cloud allows federal customers to accelerate their pace of innovation and deliver on their missions in new ways that was not previously available. For example, over at Veterans Affairs, they're using this social media platform, which was built by Harvard University's NOC Lab, Rally Points, and AWS. It's a social media platform that connects nearly 2 million service members, veterans, and their families. Rally Point built a machine learning model that can quickly analyze public posts and determine whether there's an indication of self-harm. And this enables a VA to provide the assistance when it's most critically needed. In addition to that, Rally Point's been working with the VA to come up with resources and connect service members and their families to resources for things like critical mental health and suicide prevention information. You know, in addition to all of these modernization efforts, I always recommend to our customers across all technology modernization efforts that they should be establishing these centers for excellence. These centers for excellence are great to help keep teams accountable, measure goals, and it also makes it so that they can assess progress and reinvest resources where they're most needed.
Well, next I'd like to ask, how is government attracting talented technologists to its workforce? And what is AWS doing to help the existing workforce develop cloud-ready skills?
Yeah, workforce development is so important, and it's part of almost every technology discussion I'm having with government officials. At AWS, we're working both to train the existing government workforce and help create the next generation of federal IT professionals. In order to keep up with changes today, it's important to build an IT workforce that understands what new technologies are and help keep them ahead of the technology learning curve. At AWS, we pride ourselves in turning our customers' challenges into opportunities to invent and innovate. Some of the greatest innovations throughout the world are being driven by technologists who are working for the US government. As the government agencies promote these types of innovations, they're doing some massive improvements on people's lives. You'll continue to attract a lot of motivated individuals, particularly those individuals that are looking to solve the most difficult challenges facing our country today. Another area federal agencies should invest in is education, both to develop new talent as well as to train the experienced professionals who are looking to diversify their skill set. A lot of our government customers work closely with us to train teams on emerging technologies and apply them to current technology stacks to improve operations and accelerate their respective missions. Our goal with these types of engagements is to empower their workforce to accelerate change and innovation. AWS has these cloud learning pathways that offer learning tracks made up of over 30 hours of curriculum across job families like cloud architecture and software development. An example in government is over at the National Institute of Health. They got this program, get ready for it. The program's actually called Science and Technology Research Infrastructure for Discovery, Experimentation, and Sustainability. It's commonly called STRIDES. It's the STRIDES initiative. And in STRIDES, what we're doing is we're working with NIH and STRIDES to develop these learning pathways for researchers so that they can accelerate the rates of medical discoveries. That's so important during this pandemic. Additionally, AWS has a program that we call AWS Educate, which partners with colleges and universities such as George Mason and Nova to develop cloud-based degrees. And we're connecting these graduates from these cloud programs with the federal agency job boards for internships and entry-level cloud jobs. Thereby, we're trying to create the next generation of federal IT leaders. Throughout the federal government, I generally find technologies and IT leaders that are really passionate about their missions. And it's great to be at a company where we're helping to educate and give these passionate people the tools they need to better and more efficiently deliver on these critical missions.
Well, lastly, Brett, what other trends or priorities do you have on your radar as we head into 2021?
Well, first of all, let's all hope that 2021 is better than 2020. I'm really looking forward to getting back into the office and interacting with my colleagues and customers face to face again. However, I know that many of us will want to continue aspects of remote work and learning that we've really adopted, and it's become normalized during the COVID pandemic. So going into 2021, organizations will have to continue to support a diversified workforce in wherever they really want to work. I'm also predicting that government agencies will accelerate discovery through meticulous data analytics. It used to be that those with the most data was the ones that were ahead, but now it's also who can analyze it, discover actionable insights, and act first. More than ever, government agencies have enough data to anticipate customer needs and better protect them from security threats, mitigation threats, and really deliver on their missions in ways they couldn't before. But that only happens if they are able to properly analyze their data. Agencies are doing some really cool things and increasingly look to tap into more advanced technology capabilities, including AI and ML. And AWS is excited to be supporting the federal agencies as they continue to leverage these capabilities. You see, for way too long, government IT professionals had previously been limited with the problems that they were willing to solve by what was available in their data center. Now, with near instant access to best of breed cloud technologies, the problems that can be solved are almost unlimited. Looking into 2020 and beyond, AWS is looking forward to helping these agencies solve some of these complex government problems.
Well, those are some great points. Brett McMillen, thank you so much for joining us here at FedTalks and sharing some of your insights on the government technology market.
Thank you very much, Wyatt.